So here we are with our photo booth number 2, and I'm going to show you just our basic setup of it. All the photo booths are relatively the same. However, we will do a video on each booth to show you exactly how each booth sets up. So you've already stacked the 2 cases on here. The first thing you're going to do is run your cables. So you have your signal cable that goes down to your printer. So that's what the computer is talking to the printer. It's going to go right down the hole and plug right into the printer. While you're down there, grab the printer power cable, run it back up through the hole, and it's going to plug right into the power strip. Now you do have to get power for everything, so get the main power, which is connected to the power strip, run it all the way down the hole. And it's going to go all the way down there and through the next hole as well. And this is where your power cable is. So your power cable on this booth, there's a hole in the side of the case. So just pop it through and plug it in. And what we're going to do is we're going to run that power over to our over to our wall plug. And you always want to make sure that that cable is free from tripping hazards. So if you need to tape it or anything like that, make sure it's secure that people aren't tripping over it. So we've got the power plugged into the wall. We're going to go ahead and kick everything on. Right in there on the power strip. On booth number 2, you just kick the power on. You always want to make sure your camera is actually off until the computer starts up. Once the computer starts up, then you can turn the camera on. That way the computer senses that the camera is connected to it. You can hear the printer is started up. We're going to make sure that we take and put our catch tray on it. One trick with that catch tray is if it gets loose or a kid knocks it off, it will send an error to the screen. So just always check that. Sometimes kids bump it, drunk people bump it, all of that. Some other tricks since we're back here. You've got your flash right here. This is how you adjust the brightness of your flash. So if your photos are dark, you can adjust it right here. If the flash is one of our weaker flashes, you can also adjust it right here. So if it's too bright, you point it up. If you need it brighter, you point it down. This is one of our newer flashes. It's a little brighter. Another thing, if the flash isn't firing, the hot shoe right here on top of the camera, this is what tells the flash to fire. And this cable right here just kind of needs to be pinched together a little bit once in a while and pushed back in there. You can see the actual flash fired that time. So that has been an issue in the past. We've got some better hot shoes right now. It seems to be working the past few years. Other than that, in the back, you can reach here and pop the lens cap off. Get the lens cap all off and ready to go. So the computer's already on. I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera on. We have a little line on it. It's in manual mode. I'm going to grab the remote or keyboard and unplug it. If this happens to be dead, you can run this cord just out through the camera hole, plug it in out there, and use it that way, but should be all charged up. So the other thing in here, of course, you always want to make sure this case goes back in with this photo booth case. This has all your extra pins, business cards, and just kind of supplies for the scrapbook. This does not go in the prop box or in the drape box. This goes with the photo booth itself. It actually says photo booth number 2. Now I'm going to walk you through how to load artwork onto it. So in case we had to send additional artwork or updated artwork and you have to load artwork onto this computer or this photo booth, you can. So the artwork's on the thumb drive. I already put the thumb drive into the USB hub. Just remember, do not put the USB in, the thumb drive in before you start it up. Wait till the computer is already started up and going. The computer will kind of lock up if you do that for some reason. So wait till you've already started the computer and your desktop's open. So it's already open. I'm going to come into the photo booth templates, open that up. So I've got that opened up. And I'm going to take the artwork, drag it over to the templates file. Just hit continue. All right, it's in there. I'm going to take the old one that's titled footer, take it out, drop it in the trash, and the new one I'm going to retitle as footer, all lowercase, no space. Don't do a space behind it or anything. And it's retitled footer, and run a test with it in Photobooth mode, and you should be good to go. So the software recognizes that being titled as footer, so make sure you do that, and that's how you load artwork. On your wireless remote, right on top here, you've got an on-off. So you're going to kick that on and use the keypad or the touchpad here just to move things around. You can come up here and just close that out. You're going to come down to the Photobooth startup. Double click that. It's going to open the software. You want to make sure that this has all of this information in it. If it doesn't, that means your camera is still off. So I'm going to go right up here to File, drop down to Full Screen Photobooth Mode, and our full screen is set. So as you can see, it's very blurry. You want to reach in here. So as you can see, it's a little blurry on the screen. So you're going to want to reach in and you're going to want to zoom it out as far as you can. You can see how it zooms in, zooms out. The outer ring is the focus. So you're going to want to focus that. And usually what I do is I stand back with my shirt if it has a logo on it, or I just find something with some writing on it, and I hold it back about where the people would be sitting, and I focus it on that. So you can kind of see one of our vans in the background where we're out in the warehouse, but you'll want to get it focused. And be sure and check this throughout the night in your photos every once in a while, because kids will grab this and mess with it and get it unfocused. So once that's all set, run your test print. Run one in color, one in black and white. Adjust your lighting. Get it all set. So the light that's on the front of this LED right here, what this is a lot of people call it a modeling light. This is used in very dark situations so that the people can see themselves on the screen. If we're in an area that's just pitch black and they come into the booth, this screen right here, the screen that they're looking at, they won't be able to see themselves because they're in the dark. So we turn this on, and you can use this to give them more light. It's usually just has to be on the lowest setting. On Photobooth number 2 here, we do have the hotkeys. So up here in the top, or the hidden keys. Up here in the top, that's for reprints. Down here in the bottom, exits out. Okay, at the end of the night, you should have a thumb drive so that you can dump the photos on it, so that our staff, our office staff, can upload it online so the client can have their online images. So in the back, Velcro to the side of the wall is a USB hub. You're going to stick this in the USB hub and it should pop up on the screen. All right, so it's popped up on the screen. I'm going to go ahead and close out of the Photobooth software because we don't need that anymore. And I'm going to open up the thumb drive. And I'm going to go in here. So the file that says images, I'm going to double click on that. So now I've got my thumb drive open and I've got my images file. And what you're going to do is just go into the day of the event, grab the prints file, and just drag or copy and paste that prints file to the thumb drive. So it's going to copy that prints file over and then pull the thumb drive out, give it to the DJ, or if you're not working with one of our DJs, put it with the clipboard, and they're all set. Now, if you are doing a scrapbook and the client is getting one of the Sound Extreme thumb drives themselves, what you're going to do is you're going to grab the entire date. So that way they not only get the prints files as exactly how they print it out, but they get the individual images as well, because it not only saves it as it prints, as it did print, and it also saves it as individual images. So clients will get the entire file. All right, shutdown procedures, pretty simple. Close out of the Photobooth software. Okay, so to shut down the Photobooth, you're in Photobooth mode right now. You're just gonna click on the bottom left of the screen, and the Photobooth software is still open. So just go up to File, exit out of that, and just like a regular computer, come down here, shut it down. Of course, this is after you've already dumped the images and finished out that process. So the computer's now shut down. You're going to want to remove your catch tray, dump all of the clippings out of it, throw them away, put the catch tray back inside the case. So continuing on with shutdown, remove your thumb drive, get that over to the DJ or put it with the paperwork. On your camera, turn your camera off. Put the lens cap back on it. And then we're going to start unplugging things. You're also going to want to plug this back in. Your keyboard should have Velcro on the back. Just stick it on the side. Unplug your printer cable. Just pull it all the way through. And make sure you turn your power strip off too. So your power strip's right back in there. Get the power strip turned off. Utilize these cord ties and unplug your printer. So you got your printer power cable. That goes back down in there. And we're going to unplug the main power. Pull that back up through. Take that. Wind it up. Use the cord tie. This one doesn't have one, so we're just going to kind of put it down in there. Then your main power cord as well, roll that up neatly and stow it away in the bottom case. Make sure everything is nice and tight and secure. Remember, we do have a little cheat sheet in all of the Photobooths. So setup instructions, teardown instructions, troubleshooting, and what the booth should look like set up with all of the drape, table, things like that. You want to make sure your printer is on the side that your guests are and that you're going to be on. So just some basic setup instructions.